Checkmate 007 coming back at you, you know what I'm saying? I got to build a little more room this time, you know what I'm saying? But I still got to hit the barber. Now, I was just reading his status, right? And it talked about why do men seek desire to be in control. Now, to a lot of men, this probably seems like a trap. But I recognize the genuine desire to want to know. The reason why men seek to be in control is it's simple as this. They want an extension of themselves. And this has often been viewed as negative. And that's when you have a lack of understanding of how men work and a lack of how masculine energy deals with situations. When you create an extension of yourself, you expect things to behave as though you were there, even when you're not. Like a blueprint or a guideline, even like a net catching fish. You don't expect no fish to get out the net. And if they did, you know how. Either they broke the net or too small to catch. And this deals with, I'm going to this later in the year when I get a better grasp on a concept and can break it down a little better into men's intuition. But men constantly are laying out over and over again their environment, situations, and things that happen to always have a certain level of preparedness. So when things are out of order, they immediately know. And things that could be a danger. I'm sorry if you change your hair. We're just not equipped. That doesn't bring any danger to us. So it often goes unnoticed. I'm sorry. And things of that nature. This is why men know where things are placed at in the weirdest of areas. Because we've laid out everything in that environment. So if anything changes and we perceive it, we know something has happened. Now, this is the more correct way of how control works. Remember, extension of himself, which means he has to have a genuine care over the people and environment he's wanting to influence his power on. We have gotten very negative connotations with these words that we have to revisit. A lot of it has been abused, and I do understand a lot of the hatred towards it. That's why I use the word genuine many times. Men are very misunderstood. Any idea of wanting to keep things around them safe, because a lot of men have imitated, taken half scriptures, half lessons, and have applied them in the worst ways to exact childish control, like a child with a toy. Very selfish and self-serving. And I often tell men, once they get this level of control, genuine control, with divine masculinity, you have to now instill leadership traits into the people around you so they don't always depend on you. And this is one of the biggest issues I have with the last generation. They love to be dependent on because these men have become stagnant. I call them relics. But they've become static in their growth and they want to be dependent on, so they never want anybody else to become higher than them or supersede them in any way. And this is what we have. We have a lot of this going on in the black community, extremely built into the Christianity portion, which is sad. And I often tell people when I did go into churches, a lot of pastors don't step down soon enough. And it creates a whiplash in the church, and therefore a lot of youth do not deal with the church because you're completely out of touch because of your own selfishness. No, I'm not Christian, so I want to make that apparent. But I did see this in churches heavily. In the black community, black men have become extremely selfish in the worst of ways. It's created many scars. I do acknowledge them. But do not apply them to every black man you see. It is creating a negative environment on men, and they're wanting to stop trying. And the last thing you want from the first real black male generation in America in 50 years is for them to give up on the rise back to power. So please be more cognizant of the times we're in, and let's move forward. I see black women emerging. We need more masculine energy because y'all are not balanced. Checkmate 007 out.